and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be working on a MysticArtMirrors. Now this is a PDF from Etsy. It was a set of 3. Now I've already completed 1, so I won't be able to show you that because it's put in a different area. But that's one of the others as well. They are really nice, and it was only very cheap as well. About £3 something for all 3 of them, which I think is a steal considering it's MysticArtMirrors. So I've printed this off on the Strathmore tan toned paper, just in case anybody's interested. Now it is good, this paper, but I would be super careful if you're using any watercolour. I tested it out last night and it did warp quite a bit. I mean, that doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you, then I probably wouldn't use any sort of water mediums on there. So I'm going to base this with the Ohuhu markers that I've already pulled out. So I've just got these here. I don't know if I'm going to base absolutely everything. We shall see. I don't know if there's going to be any point basing this skin because that layer is already done with it being a tan tone paper. But one thing that I've not pulled out is my little, I use this for swatching. Let's get a more or less clean page. And I just want to start off with the candy cane, and I want a red. That's quite a dark red. So I hope everyone is doing alright. I've not managed to sit down and do a talky, you know, updatey, that's the sort of red I want, video. I'm hoping to have an hour this morning. Whether I get this finished in an hour is anybody's guess. So I'm just using a lightish red colour. This is R4 deep red if you are using the Ohuhu markers, and they have got a really nice brush tip on these. Now because I'm not colouring in a book, I'm not worried about bleed through, because markers always bleed through. Because I'm using this glass cutting board, I can easily wipe it up when I've finished at the end. And my thought with printing this out on tan tone paper is all the white areas, well, the areas that I'm going to do white, they're going to really stand out with this paper. I don't think I've used this paper yet with alcohol markers, so let's see how it behaves, because it's bleeding quite a lot there. But I'm not too worried because I'm going to use a white gel pen to make the white lines. So I've just this second finished filming an unboxing and letting you have a little nosy of the new Diamond Art Club paintings that I've purchased. I got them in the Black Friday deals. I think it was 30% off all of the new designs, so I picked 3 of the new designs, so it was quite a good discount on that. Update on Isabel. She's going to be getting, well, hopefully, we've been told she's going to get a wheelchair on the 23rd of December, which is actually on her birthday, so it's a nice surprise. All of us are really looking forward to getting it now because it's going to make life a lot easier. Like when we're visiting people's houses, for instance the buggy that she's in now, my husband putting that in the car, it's atrocious because of all the basically ice farting around you have to do, taking it off the base and folding it up and doing this, that and the other, and it's like, you know, it's quite heavy. And my husband's not a small guy, he's quite big, strong, and even he's struggling now. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. She's going to be having a couple of weeks off physio, with it being Christmas. I think we're seeing the private physio the weekend before Christmas for the very last time, and then she's off for 2 weeks. But apart from that, I put all my Christmas decorations up, but you would have seen that in the last video, because I did a little bit next to my Christmas tree. Oh, and I got my Christmas present early, because I give my husband his present early. I'm going to do these berries as well in the same colour. He needed a pair of a new headset for the Xbox when he's playing on the computer, and it broke, so I ended up giving him his Christmas present early. And he got me an iWatch, so I've never had one before, so I'm still getting used to using it. And then the the wireless headphones. I've just got them here. I was just listening to last night, they're really handy. I was just listening to last night a Kindle book. Is it Kindle? Not Kindle, because Kindle's the tablet thing. What's it called? Audible. I couldn't think of the name. Audible. I was listening to a book last night and on the walk back from nursery, which was quite nice. But yeah, we were saying to each other Christmas is for the kids anyway. It's not like we think that it's Father Christmas bringing our presents. We know it's each other, so we might as well just do it now. We both need the items. I'm just going to check this is raw on back, if that's the colour I want for the antlers. That's a little bit dark. Dark yellow, white well, that's not too bad. I think we'll go with that one instead actually. Just for these antlers. Talking about antlers, I got some little clips, like separate clips, like one antler here, one antler there. Excuse my nails, I did gel last week and they're starting to peel off now, so I need to do them again. Anyway, yeah, these separate clips on one on either side. I think I've shared it on my community tab when she's wearing one of them. So cute. I'm going to pinch your pear for Christmas Day and wear them. And I've not got pink hair anymore. I've tweaked it all out. I was getting annoyed with having to bleach my hair and dye it practically every other week to try and keep up the maintenance. So I've gone ahead and put quite a dark colour on my roots, so it blends out into the blonde. It's like an opposite, I think it's called balayage or ombre, the opposite of one of them. So my roots should just grow now and not be so stark, you know, like a dark line like I was having. So yeah, it's nice. And I went and got my lashes done. Eyelash extensions, I feel like a different person. Feel a lot better. I'm wondering whether I'm going to have to go over with a few layers of this. That side not too bad. Yes, I was filming the unboxing of them diamond paintings, and it just looked like the heavens are going to open. It just went pitch black, so I'm trying my best with all the lights, but the lighting in that video was terrible. I ended up having to do a close-up of the drills separately. I mean, there's not a lot you can do. I mean, I'm working now with two lights, one ring light and then one little spotlight directly onto the art. But when it comes to showing you something that's a lot bigger, I'd need one of the huge lamps, and it's got like an umbrella on the back, but I've just not got the room for anything like that. Maybe in the future, once we've moved. I'm not going to do the band the same colour, but we'll decide on the band once we've chosen the colour for our outfit. But I'm thinking of blue. I've got myself a nice orange juice with juicy bits. Nobody else in the house likes this, so it's all mine. And it's really nice. A green. Colour these leaves in. I think that's going to be a bit too dark. Oh, there we go. I've done more or less all the Christmas shopping now. I need to pick up a couple of bits and bobs for family members. But both of the kids are sorted. Unfortunately, my son wants the new Xbox, which it didn't even cross me, my husband's or my son's mind that we'd even have to pre-order it. So there's no way of us getting hold of that instead of us paying a ridiculous amount, because people have been buying them and then selling them for like double, triple the price. And we've explained to him, you know, he's 14 now, he knows where the presents come from. We've explained to him that it's probably going to be next year. So we've sorted out a couple of other things, but mainly he just wants money to go towards getting the new Xbox. So yeah, that's a shame, but you know, it's just one of them things. It didn't even cross my mind, which was stupid with this lockdown and stuff that we've been having on quite a few lockdowns. A lot more people have been playing on computers by the looks of it, because we wanted to get one for me and my husband to play on, because the way that we use ours, we run our Sky for watching TV through the Xbox, and then that goes straight to the TV because the TV is on the wall and all the wires are at the back of the wall, like hidden in the, like, that's not the brickwork, the plaster. So obviously it gets used all day, every day. So when you're playing certain games, the sound of the fan is horrendous. So yeah, it's going to be next year for us as well now, I think. The ribbons, I'm quite liking actually this turquoise colour. That might be a little bit too dark. Let me just try and find another one. If I can't find another one that I like, then I'll go with that one. That one's slightly lighter. I'll go for these on the ribbons. Yeah, so the majority of the presents are done now. Isabel's pretty easy to buy for. We've got her a lot of musical instruments, so that's that sort of thing. What else happened last weekend? The TV broke. The main TV that's on the wall, it started showing like little tiny lines, like a centimetre apart. So whenever you're watching it, I mean, if I hadn't told, well, if you was going round and the TV was on, you wouldn't notice it straight away. I'd have to pinpoint a date to you. But because we've noticed it now, that's all you can see when you're watching TV. But with it being a couple of weeks away from January, we might as well wait. That wasn't an expense we was accounting on, but again, it's one of them things. I like the colour of that green next to the red. I think that contrasts really nice. Yeah. I haven't been doing any advent calendar colouring because I know what I'm like. I'll get to day 3 or 4 and I'll either forget or I'll think I can't be bothered with that anymore. I'll move on to something else. So I didn't even bother starting it. Yes, my idea with this is just to base most of it with the alcohol markers. I'm still unsure what to do about the skin. I don't know whether it would show up or not with this paper. I can do a little test, I suppose, under the chin, and if it's a bit dark I can go over it with pencil. But a pre-warning as well, this next, because once the children have broke up on Friday, which I've got my son off today, they had staffing issues, so he's off school, but he's no trouble. He'll just sit in his bedroom, be quiet and play his computer or read. But once both the children break up on Friday afternoon, then I might find it a little bit difficult to sit down and film, so it might have to be a couple of speed colourings, or if I can I'll have to do a couple of voiceovers. I'll try my best this week to do some videos in advance, but with it being Christmas as well, you know, it's a busy time. It's a busy time for everyone. And we've still got my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law coming around for Christmas dinner, and my dad's been really sweet. He's a butcher, my dad. And I was asking him about turkeys and whatnot, because usually I just buy it from the supermarket, it's just easier. And I was asking him about it, like if I get a price off him. And he's been really sweet and said that he's gonna, for me and my sister, he's doing a little hamper for us for all the meat that we're gonna need for over Christmas, like your turkey, your sausage, your bacon, you know, all the other bits and bobs that you need. And I thought that was really sweet of him, so that's save me some pennies, which is good over Christmas. I really like that green next to the red. I think it goes perfectly. I'm not sure with the background on this one. Let me see if I can find. I have already completed one out of here, and I can't remember what the background it was that I did. Or was it last month? It might have been last month. It was last month, wasn't it? So it's not in that pile. I can't remember what I did with the background, because I didn't like the fact that she added all these icicles, because I like it just being empty so I can do my own thing. So I'm going to have to think of something to incorporate them in. We'll see. I think we'll do the in-between bits a different colour, I think. See, she's got ribbons on the top as well, but I don't want to do them the same colour. So it will be too much. It's not even green this, it's turquoise. Turquoise green light, apparently. And I'm going to do all the insides as well. I think they would be green. Turquoise there. Just a bit again. I've finished watching Game of Thrones as well now, so I need something new to watch. I've been, I'm not too worried about this because I'm going to go over it white. I've seen a lot of advertisements and a couple of people talking about that series. It's called, I think, Raised by Wolves. I think I'm going to give that a go next. I think it's more like sci-fi sort of stuff. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Right, let's just have a little test with the skin then, shall we? I usually use either R18 or R19. So let me just check. This one's Burley Beige, the R19. That might be a little bit on the pink side, but if I want to... No, let's just go in and try that. The only problem is we're doing alcohol marker with the arms. You see how it cuts off at the bottom? It cuts off at the bottom and that irritates the life out of me, because when you are using markers you really do have to be careful and blend it. Let's just start off on the arms and let's see how we go. So the arm is there. Oh, well, it's definitely going to show up. I was worried that it wasn't going to do. I think this is a little crop top she's wearing as well. So is the arm there? I think the arms are there. And I'm just going to feather it down. And I think her tummy's meant to be on show as well. It's been a little crop top, I think. I have to put the radiators on soon, it's got a bit nippy. And it's going to be a little bit here, because this is all open. And then we'll work on the neck and the face. It is going to lighten up that. It won't be this dark. And let's start at the very, very top. I've noticed with alcohol markers you sort of got to work quick, otherwise you get the streaks. You definitely don't want that on the face. I would recommend as well, if you are planning on colouring a PDF, I'd wait a couple of hours before actually colouring on the page, because you might get a little bit of streaking of the ink. That's what I've noticed. Try and do this middle area a little bit quicker, with it being so open. I like that she adds noses as well to her girls, like, unlike Hannah Lynn's, they're completely empty, aren't you? And I really struggle with putting my own nose in. I know it can be done, and I've watched a couple of tutorials myself, but I still can't get my head around it. I'm going to do her lips the same colour, just to base them, because I'm not sure what colour we are going to go for. So just so there's a base there. And I was not meant to do that middle bit, but that's fine. So it does look a little bit patchy now. I'm going to let that dry for a minute, and then if it is still patchy I'll have to go over and do another layer. So I will let that dry and then I'll come back. It still is a teeny weeny little bit patchy, but I'm going to leave it as it is and see how we go. So for the hair colour, I'm going to go with a pale cherry pink R30, and then with the top a dark blush R22. So I'm going to do the top first. I want to make this one really, really bright. That should be okay. It looks neon that in the tip, but it's not. Can't help but pop a bit of pink on. Yeah, like that. I say I like that, but there's not really much I can do now apart from going over with a darker colour. And this bit. I've got to admit as well, this weekend, what day was it? Saturday, I wasn't feeling too good. I didn't do any colouring, I didn't do any diamond painting, I didn't do anything to do with art. All I did was sit there and watch my husband play on the Xbox. I was just not in the mood, I just didn't have the motivation to do much. I think I put too much pressure on myself sometimes to get so many pages or things done in a day or in a month, and I've got to stop doing that really. I should just do it when I'm feeling like it and not force myself, which I don't necessarily do that now, but it's like when I know, like for instance now I know I've got a couple of hours free, so I should be working on my channel when I have got other things that I need to do. But I did feel like colouring this morning, so I think, you know, it's fine. This marker's not running out, is it? Because it's looking very, very patchy. We've only got a little bit left to do, come on. And that'll be okay. And I'm going to go in with the lighter pink now for the hair. Then I'm just going to do these little bauble things, whatever they call the little things on her head. Is it like earworms a little bit? I'm just going to do them white. I might even paint them white. Just make sure I do all these little bits, because I get to the end of the colouring and I always miss something. So when I see it straight away, I just get it done. I've done a lot of handling already this month as well, with the new colouring book coming out. I've been obsessed. I think I've done 2 pages already out of that book. I think I did 2 pages within 2 or 3 days of even owning it, because I downloaded the PDF, but I do believe it is available on Amazon now, on all Amazons, but it's that paper that we don't like. Well, I don't know, some people might like it. Ever since getting these markers, I've not touched the Moucher ones. Now I'm going to keep them because these ain't going to last forever. But I really do like the brush tip of these. They do remind me, they're not as good as the Copics, don't get me wrong, but they do really remind me of them. Quite similar. But the ink is very different as well, it behaves quite differently. This little bit. Oh, I want to show you as well, let me finish this hair. I've been making some more resin things. I've made like it's like a ring holder, you know, that you put at your side of your bed and you put your ring in your watch and whatnot. Like a little mini plate. And I'm planning on giving them away for Christmas presents. I'm not going to say who to, just in case anybody watches the videos. But I've got one that's out of the mould. It's still drying, but it's nearly there. The other two are a lot thicker, so they're going to take, if not a couple of more days to completely set. Well, I've just got it on the dining table behind me, so I'm just going to show you. I won't show you the other two because, like I said, they are still in mould, so it is upside down. But this is one of them I've done. So there is little flowers in there, and I've used the resin ink. Another flower there. I'll show you from that side. So you'd have that on your bedside cabinet, and you'd put your rings and your doodads in it, and I thought that was super cool. It's still a little bit bendy in the middle, so it's completely not set yet. But I hope whoever I'm giving this to, not saying anything, I hope that person likes it. But I'm really impressed with that. So we've just got the headband to go, finish off the ribbon, and then some of the bell. So the bell we want a goldy shade. So what's this? Melon yellow. And that'll do. It's a goldy shade. We can always go over with the glitter accents or some watercolour, like metallic paints. I'm going to go over the whole thing of this. And let's pick a colour for the ribbons on the in-between bit. Do I want another pink? This is cherry pink. Oh, that might be nice actually. Let's go ahead, let's go for it. That pink hair is not standing out, that looks more beige that to me. It's definitely picking up more beige on the camera. I'm planning on using pencil over the top anyway, so I'm not too worried. Oh, I got some new fishes for my tank. I got some female betas, and they're really nice. I used to have a male one in a single tank, and he died, Frank. It was last year. So yeah, I'm glad I've got betas back, and you can have quite a few females together. I've got 5. They're really nice. Gorgeous colours. I'm very inquisitive as well. You put your finger on the tank and they'll follow it. Just be careful here, I don't want to go over the bell. And then this little bit of ribbon down here. So yeah, talking about gel nails, I have been converted. So I got one of the UV, the machines that you have to use when you're using the gel nail polish. I got one of them and a cheap set of the gel polishes off Amazon. This was last week or the week before. Because I was painting my nails and they was chipping literally the next day, and I thought I can't be bothered with this. I'm umming and ahhing whether to go back to the place that I usually get my nails done, but I'm thinking if we go back into lockdown again, I'm going to be stuck again and needing them done. So I'm wondering whether it's best just to grow them out, because you know they're my natural nails now and they are quite long. So I'll pop some gel on, and I really like the result of them, apart from obviously they need redoing now. But so I got all my nail polishes, which I'm not even kidding you, there was over 40 or 50 of them. I had them in a little acrylic case on my wall, and I've passed them on. I've gifted them to my niece, both of my nieces and my sister, and they were really pleased with them. I'm going to do the headband as well in the same colour. Yeah, so I just got rid of all my normal nail polishes. They look like it was Christmas. I went round on Saturday when I got my eyelashes done, and then shoot them around them nail polishes, and they were dead giddy looking through the bag going, oh look at this, oh look at that, oh Elise look at this. For the eyes I want a really light blue. I don't know if I've got that in an alcohol marker, so we might have to wait I'm not going to touch the eyes actually, because I want a really light blue and I don't want to put a really dark base down. So I'm going to move out all my markers and decide what other mediums I'm going to work on this picture with next. So I did miss a little bit in that candy cane, so I packed everything up and had to get it back out again. So I'm going to use the Caran Aqua Museum, I want to say, Aqua Museum watercolour pencils. Now the reason that I want to use these, number one, I don't think I've used them on the channel yet. If I've used them, then it might have been once or twice. And then the other reason is to show you what this paper reacts like with water. Now because it is watercolour pencils, I'm not going to be using a whole lot of water, so it's probably not the best test. But anyway, there's not a lot of pinks in here though. There's a few. I'm sniffling a lot because I've just sneezed. I want to try this pink for the hair. That's the only thing, there's not a lot of pink selection. Purplish red. There's a lot of dark ones. There's violet pink. We could always try that. Let's go in with this darker one first. Let's see. So yeah, if anybody's got an Apple Watch as well, I've been over the moon with it. And I went, like I said, I used these for the first time in nursery when I was walking back this morning, and I don't know how I've lived without them. They're so easy. And I was wearing them yesterday and I was doing the housework and I forgot that I had them in. And my husband was talking to me and they weren't playing anything because I just switched it off on the watch. That's what, it's so easy, you just press a button and it turns everything off what you're listening to. Anyway, and he said, you do know that you've got your headphones still in? And no, I'd forgot. I'm just going to do this one area and let's test it first. So I need my dirty rag. This is just a tea towel and I'm obviously never going to use it in the kitchen again. It's full of ink, paint, all sorts. I'm just making sure that that's definitely clean. There's a bit of plastic there. This pink matches that one perfectly though, so it might not be too bad. Just going to pull the colour up. Oh, that is quite nice actually. I'm going to keep that lid off. I've got two other paintbrushes that I might use as well. Yeah, but I've not used these pencils a whole lot ever since getting them, which I know it's terrible. I seem to get in a bit of a rut though. You find something that you really like and I just continue using the same thing over and over. I need to like take everything out and give it a good clean, a good organised. Things that I know I'm not going to use, I need to pass on, sell, give away, whatever, just not have it here. There's not a lot because I did have a bit of a, what do they say, is it purge? I'm thinking of that film Purge, they go into people's houses. Yeah, I need to have one of them anyway, and I need to do that with my clothes and I need to do that with my pans. My husband was cooking. What was he doing? He was doing a sauce, like a buffalo sauce. That's the only thing that he does, mind you. He doesn't do any cooking apart from this chicken wing sauce that he does, like this hot one. And damn it, if you do watch this, even though I know you don't watch my videos, they were too hot last night. I couldn't eat them. My tongue was burning. Anyway, so yeah, he was cooking them, and all you heard was bang, thrash, bang, 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 out of the kitchen. Who's put these plates back? Is it you or Lewis? I think it's between both of us, and we'd not really organised them when we put them back. We just shoved them back, so when he's got one out, they both fell out everywhere. But I've had some of them pans for years and years and years, and I know that they do different styles now. There's like pans that you can get that you can take the handle off, so you can store them a bit easier. So I think that's something we might need to invest in. But it was just funny listening to him. Who's put these back like this? Is it you or Lewis? I should have just blamed Lewis. No, I couldn't have done that. He would have got to tell it off. He's like off school today though. I think I mentioned that before. He is off school. Even though he sets off for school at 8:25 in the morning, it's a little bit later now because they make the kids go into school at different times. It used to be, he used to leave at 8:05. So yeah, he usually leaves at 8:25, and I got a text message, like you have like an app on your phone to do with the school, and I got a message on there at 8:10 saying that you can't go in today because there's staffing issues. So yeah, he's happy. He's happy. He's no bother as well. I made him walk to nursery with me this morning, and you know what? He had his headphones in the hallway. He must have been walking about 3 or 4 steps in front of us, even though when we got to the hill I did ask him to push Isabel because it's really difficult, so we did do that. But then we dropped her off, and then he must have been about 10 paces in front of me because he saw that some of the other school kids in the different years, he saw that they were walking past us, and he must have been about 10 paces in front of me. He's embarrassed of me. He's embarrassed of me. I think it's a normal teenage thing, that though. I say to him, no, I said, I'm only 33, lad. He thinks I'm ancient, so I'm only 33. You know, and your mum, like, I play computer games, I play the same computer games as him, and we can talk about that. I said, I bet you there's not a lot of your friends' mums that do that. And I just get a bit of a grunt out of him. But yeah, I think it's a normal teenager. I keep saying to him, it weren't that long ago, Lewis, that I was in year 10 and year 11 of high school. But like I said, he thinks I'm ancient. He thinks me and my husband are ancient, and we're both 33. So God knows how he thinks how old me and my dad is. I know he wouldn't say that to his face. Yeah, that's quite pretty, that. That's quite pretty. But as you saw, I didn't put a whole lot of water on there. And let me just show you, without knocking everything over. It is warping ever so slightly. You can see on that side. There you go, you can see that it's warping ever so slightly. So I would be super duper careful with this paper. I recently got a new printer. Well, it's not recently, I probably had it about 4 months now, because my other one just stopped working. I don't know whether I'd trapped paper in it or I'd put the ink in the wrong, I don't know. Anyway, it broke. So I got this new one, and then this new one won't fit in the watercolour paper that I've got. It won't fit in that, and it won't fit in the thicker cardstock that I've got that I like to use sometimes for colouring pages. So yeah, so I've got all that paper there, and I can't really do much with it. So unless I get a different printer, I'll take that paper to a place, which I don't even know if anyone does that anymore. My local town, there is no art shops in the town centre anymore. Well, there's one, sorry, I tell a lie, and it's called The Words, but it's more of, you know, like art supplies, like student art supplies, that sort of thing, and all the colouring boots. I mean, sometimes they do get newer colouring boots, but it's not like they won't have Faber-Castell products in there. They won't have, you know, that nicer stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. They won't have a nicer stuff in there. And then the closest one after that is probably The Range, which is like a big superstore that sells all sorts. And then the one after that one is my favourite, is Hobbycraft. But that does take us about half an hour to get there. So I don't go all that often. And obviously with the new rules and everything now, I haven't been to Hobbycraft in a while. I actually shared, it was on Instagram, I was driving past and it was shut. I did like a zoom in on Hobbycraft, like with sad faces and stuff, because I wasn't able to go in. It's turned out a lot nicer than I thought that actually. I know it's not picking up on camera, and I've missed some of the skin there and there. But I'm not bothered because I would have shaded that in a darker colour anyway. Right, so let's get that wet. There's a little bit there as well, so I'm just going to drag the colour onto that. But yeah, just make sure, like I said, when you print it out, don't be colouring it straight away, because I've done that in the past. and I've just smeared the ink everywhere, so it's a waste of ink and a waste of paper. Oh, I've gone a little bit over her eyebrow there. I should try one of these times, but I wouldn't be able to do it on the sandtone paper, to blank out the eyebrows, to add my own. I'm not adding any more water on this brush, and there is only a tiny little bit of water in the actual barrel, but I'm not squeezing it. I'm just using what's on the tip at the moment. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to struggle shading this pink colour though, because that's the darkest pink that I've got, unless we switch up. What about my turquoise colours? Turquoise blue and ice blue. I think we'll go with the turquoise. Let's try that and shade some of these ribbons. So in other news as well, we're going to be trying, I felt like a news reporter then, in other news, we're going to be trying Isabella in a walker next year. The physios aren't 100% about it because they don't think it'll be beneficial, oh my god. They don't think it'll be beneficial as in like help her with her bones and like long-term use. But our point is that she's 4 in a week and a half and no one has given her the opportunity to even walk because we've not tried her in a walker. And even if it's fake walking, at least she's managing to get from A to B, and at least she can be in the front room and get herself into the kitchen by herself if she wanted to. Whereas now she's literally strapped into a chair that's got straps across her chest, across her hips, and she's got foot stirrups that she has to wear slippers to put her in. She's literally like pinned down. So both me and my husband agree that we just need to give her a chance. So we're hoping that that's probably going to be about February time, end of January, start of February maybe. That they're going to get they have to get a rep out, and then they'll come with different walkers to try her in, and then if they're happy with it they'll order it, and then we have to sort out the funding. Yeah, it's all a big thing. I still don't know the answer to whether she's going full time in January. Yes, it's less than a week of nursery being finished and I've still not got an answer. No one's telling me anything. I'm hoping to know before the break up, because if I don't, I'm not going to be happy. Because if you know yourself and your child goes to the nursery for 3 hours, by the time that you've dropped them off and you come back and you've done housework, and I do YouTube as well, and it isn't like, even if this video was an hour long, it might have taken me 2.5 hours to film it, and then another 2 hours to edit it and get it up on YouTube and do all the information. It's sort of a full-time job in itself sometimes. So I was hoping that I would have more time for YouTube if she went full-time, because it feels a little bit, I was talking to my husband about it, and it feels a little bit like I'm a prisoner in this house sometimes. So with me not driving, even if I drove, what can you do in 3 hours? You can't like nip and go into town, and I couldn't meet up with a friend and go for dinner or anything like that. I can't even, I mean, my local supermarket, it takes me 20 minutes to walk there, and I'd struggle getting back because of my leg with shopping. So, you know, I'm hoping, keeping everything crossed, that she does go full time in January, because I've sort of had enough of this now. And who's that that's messaged me? Check my watch. See, I'm still getting used to this, so it's not pinged up automatically. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's a physio. It's a private physio. Confirming the appointment for next week. I'll have to message you back when I've done. So yeah, it's a good job I've got this on, because my phone is on silent, so I won't have seen that. So we'll see what happens when it comes to January. Keep everything crossed for me. I mean, the very worst case, she'll be just doing the 3 hours, but that's not what we want. What time are we on now? We're nearly at 11 o'clock. Probably only got about 20 minutes left. It's not only doing YouTube, you have to do the normal wife and mother things. I have to start tea, do a bit of housework. I've got some washing on the go. Right, let's get this wet. I probably should have just done one of these. But I started going on a bit of a, what's the word, tantrum. And then I forgot what I was doing. I was sort of on autopilot. Luckily it looks quite nice. I think I've got a dark red that I can use there to do all the shading with the candy cane and stuff. But as you've seen, I'm not re-wetting this brush because I just don't want too much water down. And another message. Oh, it's the same message because I've not opened it. Like my son's having a party in his bedroom. I can hear banging. It's either that or he's dropped his remote. Or he's losing it again. That could be quite possible. I don't think I'm going to get anywhere near done with this today. I had it in my head, oh, I can do this in this time, do that in that time, but in reality it doesn't work like that. So still, I'm not re-wetting the brush, I don't feel like I need it. I think sometimes as well it doesn't even matter what you're colouring or the art that you're doing. I think some people, especially like myself, I do the exact same thing. That colouring charts I treat as like company. So when I'm doing something, I'll listen to somebody else's colouring chart, like how their week's been, how their day's going, like updates on the children, etc. So sometimes I'm thinking, I don't need to put this much pressure on myself and make it come out dead pretty, because that's not the point of the video. I've gone over a little bit there, so I've just tapped off the brush and blend that out. But as you can see, these Caran dache watercolour pencils, they're so easy to blend out. So I've got a scarlet red, vermilion isn't going to be right, purplish red, dark plum, Caran lake. Now that looks brown to me. Let me just get the swatch chart out. And let me just check. Like I said, it's been a while since I've used this, so I can't even remember whereabouts. I think it's towards the end because it's a newer thing. Here's the colour, gelatos, pan pastels. There we go. So, that is quite dark. There's not a really dark red like there is in the Faber-Castell ones. I'm a bit stumped about what colour to use here, to be honest. I think we'll try that scarlet. We'll try that scarlet, and if it doesn't work, then I'll just go over the top with colour pencil, I think. I'm not really liking the selection of the dark reds. Let's just see anyway. I'm probably going to have to put a lot of pigment down here. I don't think that would be too bad actually. Let's have a see. Oh, that's not too bad, I tell a lie. I'm going to wipe my brush off because I don't want all that pigment. And the same again, I put way too much on. put way too much on right now. I know for the next one this will work just fine. Just wipe off that. Wipe it off again. I will lift it up to the camera in a minute because I know it's probably not picking it up very well, but it is there, I do promise you. You can see the line a little bit. That was the pink, wasn't it? That was the pink as well as the ribbons, so I'm going to go in with the purplish red. I think that'll be alright for the headband and then the middle of the ribbons. Let's just see. Put some in each corner. I'm using a little bit of a harder pressure there, maybe I shouldn't be. And just blend that and wipe off the brush again. And then do the same with this side. Wipe off the brush. And just blend these colours together. So it's very, very, very subtle. Very subtle. Let's do the same thing with these, but I'm just going to do it from the top to the bottom. I can tell it's nearly dinner time. I'm getting a hungry tummy. I didn't even have any breakfast this morning. I've tried my best to have porridge in the morning now, especially with it being colder. But I just didn't this morning. Just didn't bother. I'm really enjoying how this colour combination is coming out. Definitely not something that I would usually go for. I'm very minimal at the moment, just picking like 2 or 3 colours. But I'm glad I went for the pinks. Something different. Just re-wetting the brush there and then just dampening it off. She's beautiful. I'm going to work on the inside to the out on these ones because I think it'll just make it easier. Wipe off the brush again. They do remind me very much like Intense, but with the Intense, depending what paper that I use, they can be so quite streaky. And they always make me nervous with Intense because I know that they're in and once they're down, but these sort of behave similar as well. Once they're down in the dry, they're not going to move. And these bits. I'm thinking of just Distress Ink in the background and then maybe a little bit of the KJ Designs by Caran, the watercolour and the metallic watercolours, like a bit of splatter or something. Maybe. Let's do these leaves. What colour green? I want it to be quite a dark green. Moss green, sap green, I think. Let's go and shade these in the middle. I'm going to try and not put too much pigment down. Someone commented I was on about the fact that I don't move my page, I don't move it like left to right, upside down, I just move it like this. Try and keep it, you know, in the position that it is. And someone had said how I did that. And I said with great difficulty, because if I was sat here colouring on my own, this would be literally upside down now just to make it easier for my arm. But obviously in the videos I don't want to make you dizzy. So you have to sort of manoeuvre your arm, twist your hand to get in the little nooks and crannies. So I'm wondering whether I'm going to have to use a bigger brush for this, with it being a little bit of a bigger area. They're not even named like branded ones, these. They were like, I think for 15 of them about £7 off Amazon, but they're really fine ones. The reason that I got these is to use them with the metallic watercolours for fine details. It might be too fine for this, let's just see. Oh, it's not too bad. You're definitely not getting as much water with it not being an aqua brush. Let's see if I can manage. Let's wipe the brush off. Same again with this one. I need to have a little bit more water, some of that pigment, there we go, it wasn't activating. So that might be better to use a proper brush and then you're not putting so much water on. Right, for the antlers, burnt sienna, chestnut, I like the colour of that. Let's go in with that. Same with the other side. Right, I want a little bit more there actually. I don't know about you as well, but if you look, my pencil case, I have to have them all in colour order. I have to have all the names. All my pencil cases are like this. It drives me utterly insane when one of them is out of order. Same with the paints as well, they have to stay in the pans that they originally came in, they can't be moved. Or is that just me? I'm using an even bigger paintbrush now. This one is it's Aquafine Daily Rona. I did get this one from Hobbycraft, it was a little bit more expensive. Another message. Who's that? Pat again. I really need to press pause and message her back. Once I've done these horns I will do. Re-wet the brush again. I'm just going to dampen it off as well, just so I can blend these edges. I'm just going to let that dry for a minute. I need to message this person back as well. I don't think I'm going to bother doing any shading on this with the watercolour pencils. I think I'm going to wait until we switch over to the pencils to do that. But for the skin, I am going to shade a little bit. I'm going to go in with yellow ochre, I think. Just checking if it's sharpened enough. Just do a bit of shading on the face with this. Don't worry, I know it looks harsh now, but we will blend it out. Underneath the nose, top of the hairline. And all of this area that I did miss out with the marker, but it would be shaded anywhere. And then we need underneath the neck and the side of the nose. Under the neck. And a little bit on the chest. On the arms. Right, so let's see what that looks like when it's blended out. I'm going to stick with the bigger brush. Now I do need to concentrate doing this bit. It's quite a stark line there that I'm not too happy about. Let's see if I can blend that out a little bit. Well, she looks like that she's got a bit of fake tan on. I think. Not too bad though, considering it's watercolour pencils. And a little bit down here. Same thing, I'm just going to let this dry for a minute and then we'll come back. I've not got a dark enough pink to do the shading with the watercolour pencils, unfortunately, unless I switch over to the Faber-Castell. I don't really want to have to do that. I'm wondering if there's a pink there I could use. There's a violet pink, a bit burnt sienna. That's got a bit of a pink tone to it. See? I know he's brown there, but it's got a pinky tone to it. Let's just pop a little bit on. Let's see how that looks. Just for a little bit. It's too ashy, that. It's too ashy and it's not showing up. So I'm not even going to bother putting that on the other side. Just let that dry and we're going to have to use pencil, unfortunately. I'm going to let that completely dry and then we'll come back. So we've done most of the base there now. I'm quite happy with how she's turned out. I'm not going to be able to finish it off, but I'm definitely going to be doing this in the second part because I want to show you the different techniques that I'm going to use in the background. But I am running out of time now. I have to go and get Isabel. It's 25 past and I need to go and get her for 1:45, and it takes me nearly 20 minutes to walk up there. So yeah, so I'm going to have to get a move on. But there will be a part 2 up. When it'll be up, I'm not too sure, but it'll only be a couple of days between me putting this one up. So thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!